All right, guys, welcome to our unique devotion for the day. If you're not familiar with this channel, the last video that I made, which is actually the first part of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, the actual first half, at the very beginning, I kind of briefly go over that. So if you're kind of wondering what this channel is about, maybe at least check that video out and listen to at least the first couple of minutes where I explain that. But today, we are in 1 Corinthians chapter 7. I'm going to read the second half. And like I stated in the last video, this is what I call ingestion time. So just sort of kick back, relax, just sort of take in what's going on. It's a continuation of what was happening yesterday. And then the next time I make a video, I'll go back to the beginning of the full chapter of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and start doing a little breakdown, try to get a little bit deeper, ask some questions, make some statements, have some fun. All right, so most important part is not me. It's the scripture. So let's get to it. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, the second half, we'll call it part 2. Now concerning virgins, I have no commandment from the Lord, yet I give judgment as one whom the Lord in his mercy has made trustworthy. I suppose, therefore, that this is good because of the present distress, that it is good for a man to remain as he is. Are you bound to a wife? Do not seek to be loosed. Are you loosed from a wife? Do not seek a wife. But even if you do marry, you have not sinned. And if a virgin marries, she has not sinned. Nevertheless, such will have trouble in the flesh, but I would spare you. But this I say, brethren, the time is short, so that from now on even those who have wives should be as though they had none, those who weep as though they did not weep, those who rejoice as though they did not rejoice, those who buy as though they did not possess, and those who use this world as not, misusing it. For the form of this world is passing away. But I want you to be without care. He who is unmarried cares for the things of the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But he who is married cares about the things of the world, how he may please his wife. There is a difference between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman cares about the things of the Lord, that she may be holy both in body and in spirit. But she who is married cares about the things of the world, how she may please her husband. And this I say for your own profit, not that I may put a leash on you, but for what is proper, and that you may serve the Lord without distraction. But if any man thinks he is behaving improperly toward his virgin, if she is past the flower of youth, and thus it must be, let him do what he wishes. He does not sin, let them marry. Nevertheless, he who stands steadfast in his heart, having no necessity, but has power over his own will, and has so determined in his heart that he will keep his virgin, does well. So then, he who gives her in marriage does well, but he who does not give her in marriage does better. A wife is bound by law as long as her husband lives, but if her husband dies, she is at liberty to marry to whom she wishes, only in the Lord. But she is happier if she remains as she is, according to my judgment. And I think I also have the Spirit of God. Wow. Okay, so there's just some interesting stuff I want to sort of jump into. Yesterday we were talking about marriage versus not marriage, how people should act when they're not married, but also, okay, if you do get married, this is how you should act. Today, it's about, they use the term virgin. It's about purity and not purity, that one isn't necessarily better than the other, though purity is just slightly more looked upon as more graceful slightly, but one isn't worse than the other. So he's kind of pointing that out here a little bit, and more so if you're in one of those situations in life, by choice or not by choice, how you should act in your heart and how you should present yourself. Short version of the overview. So I'm not sure what I'm going to get into. That was just sort of ingestion time. I see my brain's already going. Hopefully your brain's already asking questions. Maybe you're like, but wait a minute, I thought, or, but does that mean that I have to, questions like that. They're good questions. There's no right or wrong question. It's ask these things, bring them before the Lord, bring them before God, and then start to unravel them. Start to search for those answers. Start to meditate and think on these things. Start to look for those kinds of examples around you and in life. Don't just jump down one path and assume that, well, that's got to be it. Perspective. Open your mind here a little bit. All right, so I'm not going to go any further. I already said I wasn't going to, and I'm doing it anyway. This was 1 Corinthians, chapter 7, part 2. And next time, I'll go back to the very beginning. Now that I've kind of maybe gotten your brain working a little bit, we'll go back to the beginning and maybe try and throw out a question or a statement, something to try to draw us closer to God. And I hope that's helpful for you. Till next time, please like, subscribe, share this on all of your social media. Totally appreciated. I know that God is giving you all the blessings you deserve, and even more so all the blessings you don't deserve. Till next time, love you guys. Peace. Have a wonderful day.